Hey everybody, this is Marsilio, and thanks for your interest in my take in the markets, technicals and timing for the win. This is going to be a short video, in part due to the upcoming news of the week. Would be nice if I had a real crystal ball, but I don't. So here we go. Very quickly, review some charts, what I think of the next moves, preferred scenario, and then spend a little bit of time on data edges, looking at something else for both crypto, Bitcoin, and ES. So first, review. I expected up. The call for last week was up with stutter steps. Actually, S&P delivered pretty well. Some other main indexes a little more halting. This NASDAQ and SOX not as much. And then Russell also somewhat weaker, although Dow was quite strong. And the cryptos, of course, were still quite lagging. So I'm not going to count that, although I did point this out in nearly every morning quick take in the articles that I'm doing. It's just not happening, even though I would prefer that it did, given everything else going on. And then commodities, I was also expecting up. Gold delivered quite a lot by the end of the week. Natural gas delivered, but not on oil. But overall, pretty good take. Each day morning article had a good read on the day, and developing some intraday methods as well. So I put a lot out there on the shorts. So if you're interested in that, make sure and look at the wiggle section. I may not do that every day, but especially this week with the high volume days, for sure, check it out. And some of it's quite amazing, actually, to get some turns on a minute or 1 or 2 minutes away. It's, how does that happen? Okay, so some charts. S&P is up against its half-year R2. So, I really like these half-year pivots. That's why I wanted to make sure people who wanted them could get them. This is a kind of custom thing that I did. So if you haven't gotten that, if you want to use it and pull it up on your charts, they're also very active in cryptos this year, then you can reply to this YouTube. You can send reply on X, Twitter, that you want to have your pivot script. I had to make it private because TradingView was giving me a hard time about it. In any case, above that's going to be bullish, but if that stops it, the other one that's up against a major level is the Dow, and that's its half-year pivot, which with the high of the year yearly R1 just above. So those are the two big levels in terms of the main indexes. Here you can see it on a daily SPY chart. That's the half-year level. So right up against it, but fairly muted selling pressure so far, which is often a bullish sign. But I don't think there's going to be a big move in front of CPI Tuesday, Wednesday. I'd be quite surprised. So the other thing I wanted to point out is that if you're getting into these pivots, which I really haven't found anything better in terms of price levels, they're just turned so many times spot on the level. Namely, high of the year in indexes, right on Dow, yearly R1, things like this. But one of the difficulties is that the cash index, the ETF, and the futures sometimes will have discrepancies, and it is the way it is. And unfortunately, kind of all of them are in play. And so an example of this is Russell is well above its second quarter pivot. That still looks fine. But then if we look at the futures, it's actually below. So sometimes there's just a discrepancy due to the prior price action on some futures contracts. So it's kind of annoying, but both are in play. Just wanted to point that out. The other chart that I mentioned, so preferred scenario, I'd like to actually see a bullish surprise this week. Although, I really don't know where the news is going to come in. And if it comes in, obviously, if it comes in much higher than expected, market's going to tank and be pretty sharp drop into Friday. But the reliable indicators, I think smart money is not worried about this yet. VIX is coming down hard, and we might even see a little rally attempt because smart money will probably want to hedge out their positions a little bit. But this whole move means smart money is totally underwinding their hedges. They're not worried about the market at all. And so I like to go with the smart money. And the short term VXX and SVXY are similarly coming down really hard. And I think that's, or SVXY is the opposite. So this is not where it at all, new highs. So this is the other short VIX. So there is a time component of this and a natural upward bias, just like there's a downward bias in VXX, but still no sign of any concern here, and plenty of room to go higher on VIX and all the variations. So I think that is bullish. Now, Bitcoin has been oddly lagging. And I pointed this level out again in each morning article, starting when it was support, and it broke, and now it broke again on Friday, and now it's starting to act as resistance. Now, we could see a turn. I don't really like the short side here. I haven't been pressing shorts on Bitcoin because indexes are bullish, and in a bull market, I want to capture what's going up, and it just means I'm not, piling on long here on Bitcoin or cryptos because they're lagging. So I'd rather be in the winners and what I think has the best chance of going up. That said, a move back above the second quarter pivot, 61,200 would be bullish if that happens. Monday, Tuesday, obviously big news Tuesday, Wednesday is going to decide. And then the other charts that I've been putting in each morning, note, in addition to VIX, we're mentioning them, we have TNX. So that's all about those yields. And as long as these are well behaved, TNX coming down help stocks rally. And so it doesn't even, as long as it's not jetting up here, then stocks can do okay, better if lower even, which I kind of, I'll see how that moves. And then DXY, the dollar index, also below this level 105.56, below its monthly pivot, opens the door for risk on trades. So always keeping an eye on these three VIX, DXY, TNX. HYG, the junk bond index, would also be nice. It's not fully confirming yet, but doesn't seem to be too glaring right now. So in any case, I think market is mostly going to be waiting on the news. There's no reason for a big move on Monday. Maybe some nervous selling early Monday, and then possible recovery. Tuesday is going to have the CP. Tuesday has the PPI, and then Wednesday has the CPI. So CPI a little bit more important, but it'll move on both for sure. And then Powell talking, I don't even figure out what that's about. But the reason I'd like to see my data edges, there are different cycles and they overlap, and some of them contradict each other. But one reason I'd like to see bullish, or there's a few different reasons I prefer to see upside surprise. And I should also mention that a few smarter people who we're going to have an informed view of this. Tom Lee of Fundstress, one, another person I follow on Twitter seems to be doing really well, Banana 3. They're kind of bullish, and it's easy to be perma bear. But regardless, back to the work that I do, I'm going to show some. This is crypto. I'm going to start with ES and then go to cryptos. So I've mentioned several different cycles, and even though the waxing waning that I went into detail on Bitcoin is in the weaker waxing phase, the moon signs are about to come a little bit online, a little bit better. So this is ES data, and I can show October 22 to current. So we've got Cancer, Leo. Cancer will be just a little bit below that, but Leo will be in play Monday, Tuesday, and then it might be a little bit weaker in Virgo towards the end of the week, per the data from this bull market on the ES. And then cryptos, similarly, this has been a weak patch for a while. Moon in Taurus, Moon in Gemini, this is the Astrolingo, but now getting in out of that weak patch. So the point about this data edge is that Bitcoin is a weaker moon phase and weaker moon signs together, and so price has been weak. So I think as moon goes into this section here, which will be early Monday, Tuesday, actually the rest of the week, that may mitigate some of the effects of the weaker moon phase. These are different cycles, both related to the moon. One is phase, one is the sign. These are just different. It's how it is. So with that, I'm pulling for bullish. I'll watching levels, and that's really the best I can do. Stay tuned with the morning quick takes. And if you want to be amazed, check those intraday wiggles. If you're so inclined, it works especially well in ES, a little bit less so on cryptos. I haven't really been tracking that as much. And that's it. Good luck.